Good morning. Today I'm planning to look at pre-seen material which is relevant for CIMA May and August 2023 strategic case study examination. As you all know, May examination is over, so August is going to happen. So I'm taking this video with the hope that uh, some of the students who may be interested and sitting for the examination may be benefited out of this. So I am planning to concentrate more to make sure that it may be helpful for someone who is looking at this video, okay, for this examination or for the upcoming examination. Okay, right. Let's move into page number 2. It says it's introduction, page number 2, introduction, and logistics, page number 3, and Daystruck, extracts from Daystruck's annual report. So in an annual report, it usually contains statement of income and expense. Okay, the other one is a statement of financial position, and the other one is cash flow statement. Okay, and the other one optional. Okay, you may disclose about your CSR activities notes. So that may be a usual one. So extracts from Daystruck's annual report. So annual report, that statement of um, um, income and expense. So we earlier called profit and loss account. So that means it's about the performance of the company, and the other one is financial position. It's about the balance sheet. Okay, the financial position, how strength your own assets and how you have finance through debt finance, something like that. And the other one is the other one is cash flow. That means how well you are managing your liquidity of the business. That means working capital, and if there is any issues or to be addressed. Okay, if there is any, that means you have finance through equity, debt, or a mixture of equity and debt, and something like that. Or and we will be looking at the ratios, and okay, and we will be able to think about if there is any problems by finding through the ratios, okay, on the financing process, and if there is any suggestions for the management. Okay, and the other one is Daystruck's board of directors. So board of directors may consist of executive directors and non-executive directors. Executive directors are those who have the power and responsibility for the shareholders, those who act as agents, okay, to run the business on behalf of the shareholders, owners of the business. So they have the responsibility to generate, okay, return as per the expectations of the shareholders, while okay, they are satisfying the other stakeholders of the main or important stakeholders of the business Daystruck in this in this concept. And the other one is non-executive directors. Non-executive directors usually we say that they come up with the experience. Okay, that means they have retired, but they come for come with the background of knowledge and experience, and they may, okay, their role is more towards evaluating the strategies. That means in a board meeting, these executive directors will put their ideas, and these non-executive directors will evaluate whether these strategies are worthwhile, or if there is any problems, they will straight away mention. So mostly their role is to criticize. Okay, if they are efficient, if the non-executive are to be efficient, they'll have to criticize those strategies, so that then only the executive directors will be get to know that how they can overcome and how they can better come up with the same strategies. Right. And the other one is Day-Struck's principal risk. So Day-Struck's principal risk, if I'm going to look at, there are as a company, okay, company means it's a separate entity from its owners of the business. So you can assume that means it's a separate entity. So it says the company itself in this occasion, Daystruck, has its own culture and its values. So the culture and its values may itself, the Daystrucks have to rely. That means the stakeholders will rely, and risk related to that one in the entity perspective, as well the industrial perspective. So there are two common risks which we can focus. So Daystruck's principal risks, okay, culture, that the entity itself by its operations and by its values and mission, vision, everything. And the other one is the industrial perspective as a logistics industry. Okay, what are the risks involved? Right. The next one in the index, this one extracts from competitors' financial statements. So why they are giving? There is a chance that extracts from competitors' financial statements. So here they have given extracts from Daystruck's annual report. So that means now they are giving extracts from competitors' financial statements. So there's a chances of the examiner is going to compare your performance with your competitors, whether you are doing okay on industrial norms, or if there is any room for improvement, Kaizen's approach you may talk about. Okay, that means continuous improvement in terms of quality or product development or process development. In this occasion mostly it's a logistics company, so there is no product. So but process development, that means logistics processes, how you can improve further and further and further. So in that occasion it may be that one you can talk about competitors' financial statements in mean benchmarking. Okay, there will be a chances of benchmarking your performance with Daystruck's performance with competitors' performance, benchmarking, or continuous improvement quality perspectives, or even some ratios analysis. That means you will calculate ratios based on your Daystruck's financial performance, and you may compare with one of the competitors one. Okay, I will have to look at the Daystruck's competitors' financial statements as well, how many of the competitors they have given. So we can compare them, and we can come to a conclusion whether Daystruck's is actually okay satisfying shareholders' expectations, because if the competitors can be more efficient and if they can provide more, okay, why can't Daystruck's can do? Okay, that may be an argument, but there are other perspectives also, risk and return. That means if the competitors may be willing to take more risk, thereby more reward, or day stocks may be willing to take more risk and more reward. So it's a balance, but we will have to look at in a this one. So in this occasion, what I am doing is I am stressing how we can look into or focus in how we can grasp, okay, the things out of the pre-seen material. That means we will have to take out of the pre-seen material that the examiner, okay, may be interested to test by understanding from the contents or the um, uh, contents of this pre-seen material. By look at word by word when we are reading, okay, it should click into our mind, okay, these may be the examination areas and how the examiner might test on these topics, and you should understand how you should plan, you should understand and plan how you are going to prepare yourself for the upcoming examination. So that is the basic idea. So extract from competitors' financial statements and share price history. So they have given the share price history also. So again, ratio analysis and valuation of the company, valuation in the sense PE ratio, price earnings ratio, and it's a market value. So that is also there, and balance sheets they are giving. So as per the book, historical values, okay, or scrap values, okay. There is a concern, ongoing concern of the business. That means the business will be continued in the future as well. In that occasions, okay, that these financial statements, what is the valuation, financial position gives what is the value of the business. That is one. Or if you want the real market value, that what reflects from the share prices in the market and price earnings ratio, share price and this one, and that means dividends pay and all, okay, from that. And or scrap value, that means they will give a scenario stating that this day stocks values can be this, okay, this their assets can be, okay, disposed at a value and something like that, and redundancy payments or something like that for the employees and all. So these are the valuation and all, okay. So they may testing areas, they are interested topics, okay. And news stories in this in the sense that means how day stock is attracted by the media, okay, about their performance, and about their performance, and is there is any developments happening, and the industry is looking day stocks interested on their upcoming improvements, strategies or something like that, okay. Wait and see, we will, okay, go to that those topics, okay. And in this particular page number 2, there is an introduction. Daystock is a quoted company that offers a logistics service. So they have clearly mentioned where is what is about Daystock. Daystock is a logistics service provider. So it is their industry is logistics, okay. And you are a senior manager in Daystock's financial function. So your role in your examination is senior finance manager. As you all know that when you are moving from operational to management to strategic level examination, your role will improve. So there are the main forms of questions may be report writing or memos if it is for internal, memos, or if it is for external and official, very, okay, formal one, then it is report, okay, or nodes or something. It depends on the unseen material questions. Okay, don't rely on this. Okay, don't rely on me purely, but mostly tested are reports and memos. Okay, you are a senior manager in Daystruct's finance function. You report directly to the board and advise on special projects and strategic matters. So what you can advise on special projects and strategic matters means is there is any risk and rewards concerns. So risk means what are the kinds of risks which is exposed to, and investment surprises maybe. Okay, what is your own or different finance that means sources of finance options, debt finance or equity finance, or what will be the cost of capital for different this one, and average cost of capital or something like that. So they may test in that way as well. So you are a senior manager in the finance function. You report directly to the board and advise on special projects and strategic matters. So strategic risks, okay. So for example, you may plan to expand your operations. That means diversion or a diverse strategy, or you may even discontinue some of the projects due to strategic mismatch, or you may feel that is not worthwhile for it may not be worthwhile in the future. But when you're taking strategic decisions, okay, whether to expand or whether to discontinue and downsizing, okay, you will have to think about, okay, what will be the impact on your business. So if there is any, as far as when you are doing good and when you are progressing with that, okay, that is good. If you are doing as per industrial standards and if you are satisfying your shareholders, there is no surprises to the, especially to the shareholders, then that won't reflect in the stock market. If you are going to give more surprises and something like that, you will have to be careful. Okay, surprises in the sense, even more investments, you are going to take more investments, and this one, okay, you will have to think about the strategic matches. Okay, is it worthwhile taking, because more risk, more reward, but on the same time your chances of the chances to expose to risk level is very high. So that is what the idea. So special projects and strategic matters, and distract is based is round lab. So they have given as a geographical area as round land, a developed country that has an active and well-regulated stock exchange. So developed countries uh, at the time this present material points out, it's a developed country. They may use information technology and information systems to track or to cope up with their business as well. They may use modern technologies for their logistics. So that is developed country, and that has an active and well regulated stock exchange. Active stock exchange in the sense that means the share prices may reflect each and every actions taken by the organization. If you are taking good decisions, your share prices will improve. The share prices will climb up. If you are taking any mistakes, okay, decision, if you are doing any mistakes in your decision making, that may also reflect in the share market. That means drastically there may be a chances of drop down of your share prices. So careful about that. And well regulated stock exchange. Stock exchange, as you all know, New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange, even if you are a Sri Lankan student, okay, Colombo Stock Exchange. So what is the difference between different stock exchanges mean where they have listed their stocks, that means shares as a company to sell, and what are the regulations involved, okay, what are the regulations involved, okay, and you'll have to be careful on that, okay, and you'll have to satisfy those requirements time to time, right. And Roundlands stock exchange, and Roundlands currency is the R dollar. Why? And before that, well regulated stock exchange. Why well regulated stock exchange? Sometimes it gives more advantage, because if it is well regulated stock exchange, the confidence on the stock market will boost. If the people believe, it's also in economics also, if the people believes on the regulation and regulatory bodies, the system will work properly. So trust on the stock regulatory process, okay, trust, okay, or confidence, okay, if the regulatory of the stock exchange, as but the thing is nowadays it is combination of so many organizations involved, and they set regulatory bodies their role and how they can control, because it's about, if there is any overlaps, okay, it can even lead to the failures of the stock markets. If the failures on the stock market means it's a disaster, actually speaking, it is a disaster, because it's financial, okay, markets mainly rely on the stocks, that means this markets, so stock exchange. So if people will have to be believe all the time, so measures are taken. So that is the word, okay, well regulated means it is well regulated, monitored and controlled. So how they can control, they can auditors, okay, internal and external, or external audit, and they may ask some copy of the financial statements, audited financials, okay, to be presented for the view of the shareholders, okay, and view of the shareholders, and for the betterment of those who are for the future investors, okay, and something like that, and any other measures they will also take, okay. And Roundlands currency is the R dollar, so it is their business and their country where they have located, it's something like dollars, they deal with dollars, okay. And Roundland requires companies to prepare their financial statements in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS. So usually when we are going for stock exchange, listing in the stock exchange, International Financial Reporting into place, because anyone can look at your business performance, because it's all in international financial, not in international financial reporting standards. That means common practice of reporting your financial performance or financial position and equity. So it's easy to understand, and there you can compare with each other entities, because they will also be, if they are listed, they will also be reported in IFRS. So it is easy to compare, comparison purposes, okay. So that is fine. Or if it is a local one, then local standards will be, and you will have to check and see how, if it is in international financial reporting standards, right. Now I am moving into page number 3 of this pre-seen material. So page number 3 says logistics, and logistics is a process of managing flow of flow of goods. Okay. So in this situation, logistics, as you know, we are having some arrangement as business organizations. We will be having some arrangements from supplier to the endpoint customers. Okay, we will be having some taking the things from supplier, and we will have to deliver the final finished goods to customers. Okay, so inbound logistics mean we may purchase some raw material, components, something like that. Okay, even some of the components of raw materials and finished goods of components or something, okay, from supplier to your entity, that we call inbound logistics. It's clearly mentioned in this picture, present material. And from your organization entity to the customer's delivery point, up to the point of delivery, we call it as inbound logistics. And until you are keeping into your entity, until that you will keep inside your entity, that we will call it as internal logistics. Okay, internal logistics. That means you'll have to have a clear records. Yeah. Okay, what are the things coming in and what are the things going out? And so that is the basic idea. So there is a flow of GRNs, goods receipts note, credit notes, debit notes. Okay, okay, this may be also there. Okay, so logistics is a broad term. Now I'm planning to go get into the present material. I'm going to read you. Logistics is a broad term that encompasses the process of managing the flow of goods, ensuring that they reach their intended destination on time. Yeah, so here I want to stress that on time. Okay, if there is a delay, okay, you will be subjective to penalty payment or customer dissatisfaction. That means customer may not be happy with you to work with in the future. So on time is a stressing point here. Logistics includes the planning, implementation and control required to ensure the safe and efficient management. So again, safe is safe and efficient management and planning and control. Okay, management of that flow as well as the physical transportation of materials and products. So here, planning and implementation. Planning means, say for example, routes and route planning. Okay, or how we can route planning is very important for a logistics. Why? If you are going to transport by the capacity utilization, you can talk about capacity utilization, because those are the measures, okay, you can take. Okay, capacity utilization, when you are using your logistics, okay, how well you are utilizing your capacity. Okay, maximum use will be benefit, okay, to maximize your profits as well, being socially responsible organization, because there is lot of CO2 emissions involved, and you should be very friendly with the environment. That means go green policy or to the planet. Okay, so that is about the planning helps, and implementation means implementation also. Okay, you plan, and if your activities are totally different, you are not with plan. So implementation, strict to that plan. If there is any deviation, okay, you'll have to take corrective actions. So that is implementation. And control, if there is any deviations, okay, take corrective, come back or pull back as per the plan. So pull back as per the plan is control measures. Okay, So required to ensure the safe and efficient management of that flow. So safety is also important because in most of the organization their employees, okay, here we are accident free environment, we can talk about accident free environment, and the workers will have to be have a working culture which is not subject to ethnic or race or something like that. So that culture, that means everyone are equal opportunities. Given equal opportunities means they will be happy and they can share their views and they can come up with own ideas or something like that. It gives some development or own satisfaction. Satisfaction gives you motivation, and motivation leads you the performance level. If you are more happy, okay, and more autonomy is given, but still you'll have to, there are more autonomy means as per the level of experience and knowledge. That means you'll have to develop, train and develop, and once they come to that level you can give autonomy. So there is a training and development needs also. That means you develop them to come to stand for a level, and then you give the autonomy means they have come to that level and they can work to their own. So there is a training and development which they can understand what is their role and how, why they have given that training and development in the initial stages, okay, induction program or time to time, okay, when they are progressing with their with the employment. And that understanding may help to achieve the cultural values of, okay, accident free environment and no discrimination policy or equal opportunity, something like that. So it's like that. So it's about that one. So I have clearly explained efficient management of that flow as well as the physical transportation of materials and products. So physical transportation, that is the task of the particular organization. It's a logistic organization, okay. Transportation of materials and products, okay, that is the business of this particular company. Most logistic systems involve the following, and they have from suppliers to internal logistics, inbound logistics they have specified, and from the entity to the customer point they have mentioned it as outbound logistics, and from the entity itself whatever they are tracking inventory for coming into the entity and going out of the business, that and keeping it in the warehouse, they call it as internal logistics activities. Okay, careful about that. Okay, right, understand and learn so that no need to memorize or something like that. Okay, an entity, inbound logistics focus on the procurement of goods, okay, and they keep going on receiving and checking goods which may take the form of parts, materials and of finished products. So now they have explaining in their own words, okay, in the present material. Inbound logistics focus on the procurement of goods. Procurement means purchasing. So in this kind of organization, okay, the structure of the business may be departmental or other approaches also there. If it is a structure of departmental, definitely procurement department, okay, because they will have to buy at market prices, bargaining price, okay. If they are making mistakes on procurement, that may be costly, okay. That means financing, even if they are going for the fleet of transport or something, okay, they will have to finance their, okay, vehicles and equipments or their assets, okay, at a cheap cost of capital, okay, cost of capital or cost, Okay, so then only they can maximize their profit level. So if they are making any mistakes, procurement, even from the purchasing also, even it includes transport as well, okay, and components also at a cheap price, if not cheap price, with quality, okay, the expected quality at a uh, market price. So that is what my idea. So that may only succeed the business, key to succeed on their business. Okay, so inbound logistics focus on the procurement of goods. So departmental organization, procurement department, their main role is to purchase at market values, bargain, okay, for your purchasing activities, or the level of active level of procurement you transact with the entities, okay. And inbound logistics focus on the procurement of goods, receiving and checking goods, which may take the form of parts, materials, or finished products. So as I mentioned, okay, so raw materials and parts or something like that, and finished goods, and storing goods if necessary. So storing goods also, because some of the products may be, okay, you will have to while you are transporting, it should be kept under refrigeration, or something special, okay, needs are required, okay, say for example perishable goods, so something like that, okay, and some of the carefully transported, otherwise it may, there may be some damages, something like this. So storing also very careful, okay, and understand the product and understand the storing requirement. It may differ from product to product, okay, and updating inventory records, that is also very important, because your business is logistics, so the customers may have to get a feedback the where their goods are lying, so that means where it is located, so they want to track from time to time. So updating inventory records, so you'll have to update on time whenever it moves from one to the other stage, okay, one to other process or other stage of the this one, you'll have to keep update, then only it will reflect on the tracking process, okay. It may be helpful for your partners, those who are working with you. Say for example, maybe you are taking from it moves from your point to the customer, that means started to move, and when will be the expected delivery, so that the customers may be happy that this day, or they may contact, and there may be some there will be chances of contacting you, and if there is any chances, they may, okay, for additional prices or something, if there is optional, okay, some early delivery or something arrangements, something like that. So that is one. And internal logistics involve handling goods within the entity, excluding inbound and outbound logistics. So that is what the entity itself managing the goods, okay. So managing goods, maintaining inventory records, again they will also have to maintain inventory records, that means how much of the records, okay. Product batches or product codes, based on that they will have to be careful, okay. So when we are talking about, it's very easy, but when they are tracking, it's actually barcode systems and product tracking, okay, product batches and product codes, okay, something like that. You will have to be very careful, okay. The codes for the batches may, if you okay, if you are mistakes, okay, errors, okay, so barcodes will be, it's recommended, that means since they also mentioned that it's a developed country, it's better to go for technologies on tracking the inventory, okay, rather than human involvement, okay, because any human errors may be very, very uh, expensive in this occasion, okay. And outbound logistics involves processes associated with the movement of goods to customers. So warehouse picking. So warehouse picking in the sense they pick from the warehouse, from their own warehouse stores, and packing, they will do some packing, and dispatch. On the dispatch also they should be very clearly, because you at the time of when you dispatch, you may give it to a third party to deliver to your point. So dispatch also very important, to label properly where to go and what it inside, contents of the product summary, what it contains, and where the destination it should reach, and who should receive, the receiver, something like that. So dispatch also very important, and recording again at the time of it moves from outside, it moves from your stores to the outside, warehouse to out, okay, keep a record, okay, that means it's update onto the system. And outbound logistics also includes reverse logistics, whereby goods move from customer to the entity. Sometimes you may deliver, but there may be mistakes, okay, with order to understanding of getting the order, or the customers may be even they have by mistakes they have ordered some other things, and later on at the time of product receipt they may be okay. So whatever the circumstance, okay, they may with the understanding or with the mutual business perspective, okay, they may try to return back. So in that occasion it's called outbound logistics. Outbound logistics also includes reverse logistics, whereby goods moves from customer to the entity, that may be due to the return of defective goods or the recycling of products or packaging. So they have reasons also, they have mentioned. Defective goods, that means damaged, not fit for the purpose of use, or recycling of products. Sometimes some of the products they will get, and some of the parts they want to dispose, that will come back, and this truck may be day's truck, if I am not mistaken. Day's truck business may be the day's truck business may be good in disposing the waste as per the legislative requirements, so they may return back some of those things, so something like that. So it's under reverse logistics. So make a note that they are talking about a new word, which is reverse logistics, okay, whereby goods move from customer to the entity, that may be due to return of defective goods or the recycling of products or package, okay. So each stage in the flow of goods depends upon the maintenance and communication of accurate information. So in this stage they are talking about each stage in the flow of goods depends upon the maintenance and communication of accurate information. So accurate information in the sense you will have to go for systems, okay, information systems and information technology. So information systems and information technology to track your inventory and track your logistics process, okay. So in that occasion, that is very much, so it's a developed country, you can go for that. So information systems, use of information systems and information technology. And what are the suitable information systems and information technology for a logistics organization? You'll have to understand and you'll have to recommend, okay, right. Logistics requires the effective communication of information both within the entity and between the entity and its suppliers and customers. So logistics requires the effective communication of information both within the entity and between the entity and its suppliers and customers. So information systems, in the sense, the information you when the products move from one place to one, okay, it should enable you to track about the whole history of the product. That is information systems. So information systems also LAN, local area network, and the other one is wide area network. So local area network may be helpful, that means it uses the technology of internet, but it is restricted to your workplaces only. Okay, that means firewall protection measures. Okay, so in that, logistics requires the effective communication of information. That means the technology is provided, that means same technology as internet, but LAN only, it is limited to your local area network. Okay, so information both within the entity, so within your factories or within your factories and your head office and offices or something like that, LAN can be enabled, and between the entity and its suppliers and customers, that is outsiders. Suppliers and customers are outsiders. So every information which you can't share with your customers and suppliers, so you can restrict some of the information to your suppliers and customers as per the firewall protection measures. So in that occasion you can provide WAN, wide area network. Okay, so you can talk about that. Okay, information systems and information technology to Daystrucks organization. Then the scale and complexity of logistics varies between entities, definitely, because logistics is about transportation, that means tracking to that means inbound logistics to outbound logistics, and they have clearly mentioned in this note also. There is a inbound logistics also involved, that is the entity itself take measures of until it moves from inbound to outbound logistics, until they keep an maintain the inventory. That process is internal logistics, and something like that, internal logistics. So it's about that. So the complexity varies, depends on the entity's operation. So the scale and complexity of logistics varies between entities depending on their size and the nature of their businesses. Yeah, it is depends on the businesses, okay, nature, industry. Say for example, if you are going to transport food, okay, something perishable items, it should be okay. You will have to clearly coded, and it should be whether it should be or medicine items. Okay, it should be perishable, something food and vegetable. Okay, something like that. So you should be. Is it a refrigerated item or non-refrigerating item, and whether what are the storing facilities required, something you will have to decide in advance. So it differs from industry to industry. Food, that means food, and if you go and compare an explosive, arms, okay, something like that, maybe a public sector organization, you are one of your customer, okay, explosive, you will have to transport with a very much, you will have to concentrate fully, or you will have to be take care, okay, when you are transporting explosives, okay, because the damage may be very huge, okay. So you will have to have the expertise or training before handling those kind of explosives. So you will have to have a clear knowledge before you are getting into that kind of business. That's what they are talking about. The scale and complexity of logistics varies between entities depending on their size also. If the size is small, the complexity is less, and if the size is that means if the size is low, okay, you can use a normal van or normal car even, okay, logistics, and the distance is also very short, you can use a car or a van, delivery van. But if the same but in a substantial amount or material amount of amounts to be transferred or that means transport, then you can't use the delivery van, okay. Some fleet of lorry or containers to be used, okay. So that is the basic idea from this one. So depending on their size and the nature of their business, for example, a manufacturer such as Malta Motors has very different needs from a retailer such as Mudstock supermarkets. Yeah, they are taking in this pre-seen material Malta Motors, which is a motor, that means automobile industry, and the other one is a supermarket, Mudstocks supermarket. So definitely it is their automobile industry, it's very heavy, and the components are to be transported with care. That means any damage can, okay, cause not suitable for quality perspective. On the same for supermarkets also, but different ways of doing that. Right. Now I am getting into the page number 4. Malta Motors, and they are talking about Malta Motors is a global manufacturing company that has 52 factories spread across 31 countries. So they are straight away they are introducing as Malta Motors is a global manufacturing company. So they are the manufacturers of automobiles, cars, okay, that has 52 factories. So they have factories in total 52 numbers spread across 31 countries. So they are located or they are in operation in 31 countries. So their scale, that means the size of the business, now they have given 52 factories and across 31 countries. So again you can think about that. I have mentioned about LAN and WAN, local area network, within the factory use, and 31 countries, that is for their operations LAN or WAN, okay, as per the requirement, information system requirement, okay, information requirement. And each factory mass produces a specific product that may then be shipped to other factories as required. So in this business model, what they are doing is, they, wherever they get at cheap prices, they get it and they produce in a particular geographical location, everything. And okay, not every parts in under only one geographical location, not I am not going to tell like that, but there are 52 factories. So some of the factories, okay, they will only produce some of the components only. Engines means engine, something like that, okay, and those factories will involve, and it will be transferred to other factory for another one, and they will another factories will be given a task of preparing another sort of component, maybe the body of the car or something like that, or whatever, and something like that. So factories are given tasks of manufacturing this. That means they are clearly defined, this is your task, and The procurement team will be given responsibility to purchase, okay, relevant raw material and components for the factory activities involved. So procurement department, and they will be manufacturing only, concentrating on manufacture of those items, and something like that. So